governance on the supranational level, on the level of the European Union, can be called as a macro level and macro governance. It means actually that the governance is executed by the supranational institutions. In the case of the European Union, it's the European Council, the Council of Ministers, the European Commissions, all three are the executive bodies, European Parliament as a legislative body, and also the European Court of Justice as a judiciary body. The specifics of the governance on the supranational level is that the European Union has only the limited competences concerning the competences which were transferred to the supranational level from the national level by the member states of the European Union. It means actually that only specific and only several spheres can be regulated and can be the playground for the European Union as the supranational institutions, while the major competences at the moment are still on the national levels, and the member states have the majority of the competences which are more essential to the executing of the governance. Notwithstanding, if we are talking about the European Union as a supranational institution, one should take into account that the major competences where the governance is executed is first of all the economic policy, the international policy. It means actually that at the moment the European Union tried to forge the joint foreign policy, as well as joint social policy and the policy concerning the sustainable development of the member states in the sense of forging the joint identity and joint the cultural space. The governance on the national level within the European Union is essential part of the governance within the European Union as a supranational institution, due to the fact that the member states play the significant role in forging the joint European policy in different spheres. At the moment, one of the mightiest and one of the most essential decision-making body within the European Union is the European Council, which comprises the head of the states of the member states of the European Union. At the moment, it is 28 head of the member states, which forged the major strategic lines for the development of the European Union as a supranational institutions. But not only the activity within the European Council is the major playground for the head of the member states to exert the policy within the European Union. At the moment, about 3/4 of all the competences which are exerted by the member states are sovereign. It means this is the competences which are exerted by the member states of the European Union, and such spheres like inner politics, like foreign politics, like many spheres concerning financing, the sphere of finance, they are not actually on the supranational level but on the national level. And in this respect, the national decision-making and national governance is a prime to the supranational governance. It means actually that the governance on the national level also makes some strategic outlines for the development of the policy of the European Union as a whole. The governance on the regional level within the European Union is also essential as the governance on the supranational and national levels. The regional governance can be called the meso level of the governance within the European Union. At the moment, European regions play the significant role in forging the European policy in different spheres and different ways. Many of the European regions are very active in promoting and pursuing their goals on the supranational level. For instance, some regions of Germany or so-called federative lands, they are really active in pursuing the policy in such spheres like industry, such spheres like finance, such spheres like social benefits which are provided by the European Union. For the activity of European regions, the European Union set the special structure which can be called Interreg. This is structure is aimed at bringing the European region closer to each other and to promote cross-border, cross-regional cooperation between different regions. It makes the European Union more stable, and the conjunction of the European Union helps to solve some really important issues like creating the working places and jobs, and also make the European regions really cooperative with each other in different spheres, which can be the win-win game for the European regions as a whole. One more thing concerning the regional governance within the European Union is that at the moment the European region has the right to address themselves directly towards the European institutions and not to the national institutions. That actually helps the European regions be more independent from the national governments and also to pursue their goals on the supranational level, which is really effective in the form of creating the new good governance. The local governance within the European Union is a really interesting thing to consider due to the fact that local governance is actually the source for civil society activity, and at the moment the European Union as a democratic entity comprising democratic member states try to foster and to develop civil societies in different member states of the European Union. The local governance is rather independent from the supranational, national and regional level of the governance within the European Union due to the essence of local governance, which is rather independent activity, not only on the supranational but also on the national level. But the European Union tries to promote the local governance. It means actually that European Union always exert the principle of subsidiarity. It means actually bringing the issues and the decisions on the level which is affected actually by this decision. And in many senses this is actually the local level where the decisions are made, and the European Union promotes the practice of solving the issues and bringing some decisions on the local level, which is too close to the ordinary people. At the moment, the local governance within the European Union is also sustained by the activity of different European programs. For instance, the financing of the European Union of educational, medical, social programs. The European Union turns out to be the source of financing for many local initiatives, and at the moment the local communities try also to enhance their activity by getting some financing from the European Union for decision and for actually finding the way to develop itself. The interaction of levels of governance within the European Union is rather systematic and intense. First of all, it encompasses the governance on the supranational level, which can be called macro level, the governance on the national level, which is meso level, and also the governance on the regional level, which can be called micro level. At the moment, the local governance is, due to its essence as an independent activity, is rather aside from the interaction between these three major levels: supranational, national, and regional level. But notwithstanding, the European Union tried to promote some policies which encompass and which actually concern all the levels of governance. The major principles of interaction of governance within the European Union are systematic character, also flexibility, and also complementarity. It means actually that all the levels of government could be first of all could be brought closer to each other from one hand. From other hand, they should be to some extent independent and in solving the issues on that every level. It also depends on the distribution of competences between different levels within the European Union. At the moment, many initiatives and many decisions are taken on the national level, which up to the present day is the major level of governance within the European Union. But at the moment, the European Union also tried to transfer some decision-making procedures on the regional level in order to make the regional initiatives more vivid and more working in sense that the regional governments, the regional authorities should solve some issues and to find ways to get the solutions for these or that issues which can occur.